Okay, folks, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about EVP and gathering EVP and how to analyze them and the equipment that I use. There'll probably be a series of these, so if you're really serious about EVP and you want to learn, I've been doing this for many, many years. There's a lot of people that are kind of new to it, and maybe this will help you. We're going to go through some of the basic equipment that you'll need to start with. Now, one of the things that you're going to want to do is definitely get you a good set of headphones. I would say noise cancellation are good. They don't have to be. You can buy them, for around 20 bucks or a little more, but that should get you a decent set to start with. Now, something that I do and I highly recommend is run them into a set of speakers from your computer. Find one that has a headphone jack and plug the headphones into the jack on the speaker so that you have better volume control. Okay? Very, very important. With that said, let me cover some of the other equipment I use in gathering. So it doesn't do you any good to gather them if you can't hear them. So again, headphones, very important. Now this one item right next to the mouse here, this item right here, is a microphone. That's one of the items that I use. It's a non-amplified microphone. I think I picked that one up at Wally World, costing about $8 or so. And I seem to get good results with it. Something else that I use that I get very good results with is this item here called a Listen Up. Now basically what it does is it works as a powered microphone, if you will. So it's going to amplify sound from further away, make it easier for me to hear things. You just have to be careful when you do that to make sure you're not picking up some external voices or noises. So it works very, very well. The other thing too is some of the computers are set up as mono. This is a stereo device, so you can plug your headphones into it and listen to sound at quite a ways away. However, you got to make sure that the jack that you're plugging that into meets it. If it doesn't, you're probably going to have to wiggle it around and move it around so you find that right place to insert it. One of the other devices that I use is this radio here. It's an analog radio. Works very, very well. I use it basically for white noise, but I have just used it by itself and done pretty well at gathering EVP. So it's a good source. One of the other items that I use is everybody's aware of the Ghost Box. And basically what it is a digital radio that has been altered or modified to constantly scan the channels. Now, it does seem to work well. The biggest problem that I find with using this device is that the words are not very clear. And so, with that said, you also have to consider that some of what you may pick up could be, a system of broadcasting, actually, repeating something, or saying something that could, sound like a possible answer when indeed it's really not. So you really have to be careful using one of these. The best way to use one, in my opinion, would be in a Faraday type condition where there are no signals coming in that, would be a voice. Another thing that I use is a radio here. It's a two-way radio. I've had pretty good luck with those. I don't key it up. I just basically let it scan, work a lot like the Ghost Box. And it seems to work at times as well too. Now, once I have all these things plugged in, I run them into a mixer, and this allows me to determine what sound and how I want to create the sound to develop the EVP. So I can use any or all these devices and a number of setups to how I wish to get EVP, and I seem to be getting some very, very good results with that. So what I do is I run the sound into the mixer and into my computer. So this is my EVP setup, if you will, or research lab, whatever you want to call it. Once I run it into the computer, I can save it, and I use a program called WavePad. And I've been using WavePad for many, many years, had very good luck with it. There are better programs out there, but basically, my honest opinion, if you alter the EVP too much, basically it's exactly that, altered. So we can take any sound and record any sound we want to, and if we alter it enough, we can turn it into a voice. So we don't want to do that. We want to try to keep it in a raw form. I will sometimes amplify, sometimes slow down, but again, I consider that altering. I'm going to play for you one of the EVPs that I captured using a combination of several of these devices at one time, running them through the mixer. And I hope that you can hear this. So I'm going to play that for you. And it'll come right through the speaker, and I'm going to go ahead and play it. Hey John, should I use another radio? Okay, so basically, let me tell you what's going on in this EVP. I have a disembodied voice that sometimes gives me advice on how to set up my equipment. His name is John, and those of you that are EVP technicians like myself would know about tech supposedly on the other side and those trying to make communication with us. In fact, Constantine Raudive was said to have called one individual after his passing. So in any case, John comes through quite often and will tell me what I need to do. And in this case, I asked him if he liked the setup that I was using, and he replies one thing, yes. So with that said, I'll let you hear the EVP again and see if you can hear the yes. I will highlight it right here. Let's highlight a little further, and I will move it a little closer to the speaker so that you can hear it. Play it one more time. So that's him coming through on an EVP. So you can see that's a whole lot clearer than what you're typically going to get on your Ghost box, and I really do like this setup. So with that said, I'm going to go ahead and turn this off and get back to doing my EVP work. And what I will do is I will post some EVP and show you exactly what I'm doing. But for now, a quick overview of what I'm doing is I'm using a combination of several tools and running them into a mixer. So anyways, we'll keep you posted on the results. They are very interactive in this method. It isn't passive, so to speak. I basically ask them questions and they seem to answer and respond. I have many EVPs where I ask them to repeat back to me particular words such as Christmas or Halloween or yellow flower or Sooners, which is the Oklahoma football team down at OU. Just random words that I come up with. And again, it's very impressive when you get responses back on these things that go way beyond chance. So with that said, I'm going to go ahead and get back to doing my EVP work.